Hello and welcome to another episode of Salary Voodoo, the show right here on the MMA Engine channel where I, your host Monk, aka the Monkmatician, break down three fights from a completely different perspective than you've likely seen before, unless of course you've seen the show. And I'm talking about for GPP tournaments, guys. Let's get a few of these roster spots taken care of right now before Saturday. That way you have less work to do and I can help you out a little bit. Guys, first things first, be sure to check out the rest of the content we have on the MMA Engine. It is me, Brady, Weezy, and Lou Betya bringing you content several days a week before each and every UFC event. And this week is no different, guys. We are chock full of stuff over on the MMA Engine. Hit the like, hit the sub on this channel as well so you never miss any of the aforementioned content. And guys, let's get right into it. UFC Las Vegas, not UFC Vegas 71. This is not at the Apex Center. UFC Las Vegas, Salary Voodoo, Monkmatician, MMA Engine. Let's go. First, the rules, you can look over them, blah, blah, blah. Be sure to comment down below in this video the fights you want to see on Salary Voodoo for next week. We have another pay-per-view, guys. It's the Usman Edwards pay-per-view. We've got Casey O'Neill on the card. We've got Muhammad Mokaev on the card. Tons of DFS darlings. Be sure to comment down below the matchup you want to see me break down from a Salary Voodoo perspective, and we will do just that next week. UFC 286, baby. Let's go. Speaking of last week, how did we do last week? Well, not good, long story short. We told you to play 8,500 and 7,700. That would have been Cody Garbrandt and Trevin Jones, I believe. Neither one of those guys made optimal. That was a terribly low-scoring fight. Went all three. I told you to fade, what's his name? Bo Nickel against Jamie Pickett. Told you to fade that one. We actually got that one right. Pickett didn't do anything, and Nickel only scored 100, did not make the optimal lineup, so we got that one correct. We told you to play Jalen Turner and Mateusz Gamrot. Gamrot wins the fight, scores 85 points, does not make the optimal lineup. And then we told you to play the main event, Cyril Gane and John Jones. Salary Voodoo said they liked it. I did not like this one for DraftKings. John Jones wrecked Cyril Gane in the first minute, or first 2 minutes or whatever. Scored 104 points, not quite enough to land on the optimal lineup. We had some very high scores last week. Only one dog won. We went 1-3 on our picks. Yikes. UFC 285, not good for Salary Voodoo. Let's see if we can turn it around, guys. First fight of the night, picked by Godlike, 8,400 against 7,800. And remember, this is Salary Voodoo. We use salaries here, not fighters. It just happens to be Victor Henry and Tony Gravely. Bantamweight fights, someone makes optimal from that weight class 49.15% of the time, so sub 50%. Same with the third fight of the night, only 45.65%. But the salary pair of 8,400 and 7,800 is a very good salary pair to target. They make the optimal lineup 59.76% of the time, and we are underweight 7.5% to this salary pair. So get these guys in your lineups. I love this fight for this weekend, and I love it for DraftKings. We got an Orthodox versus Switch fighter. Both salaries coming in under leverage. Love to see that. 8,400 has made optimal 24 out of 82 uses. That is a 29.27%. Anything over 25 is good. Anything over 30 is fantastic. And we are just under 30% here for 8,400, which has a win rate of 52.44%, a little better than a coin flip. And when it does win, it makes optimal 56% of the time, scoring 107 points on average per when it does make the optimal lineup, I should say. Now the dog salary is just a little bit better than the favorite salary, making the optimal lineup one more time for a 30.5% optimal rate. Fantastic. Has a win rate of 45%. But when it does win, guys, 67.5% optimal. That's a fantastic number. 102, almost 103 when it does find itself on the optimal. I love these numbers. They are a little bit better than average for sure across all salaries, and for that reason, guys, it's got to be a Bernie. Love to target this fight. This is some good voodoo on the $8,400 and $7,800 side. I personally like the dog. A lot of people I've seen her on Henry. I don't mind either pick. I think the winner does score very well, especially Gravely, who has an extremely high DraftKings upside with his bevy of takedowns and ground control time. And if Henry can keep getting back up, maybe we get to see rinse and repeat takedowns, 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, 5 points. Love to see it. So, guys, we get a Bernie here. 8,400, 7,800 target this fight. The salary scores are both top 10. Let's go. Next fight. 9,100 against 7,100. Said Nurmagomedov going against Jonathan Martinez. Man, this is going to be a great fight. This one's picked by AJ Philbrick. Bantamweight fights again, 49% of the time they make optimal. Fight number 10, 55.68%. That is one of the highest numbers out of all fights. But the salary pair of 91 and 71 is the opposite of the last fight. Only 41.5% optimal. We are overplaying this fight 3.85%, guys. Southpaw versus Orthodox matchup. As you can see, Southpaw's 53% win rate when they fight Orthodox fighters. That is a very interesting number. And we have negative leverage on the dog here, as you would expect. The interesting thing is when we get into these optimal stats, both 9,100 and 7,100, an extreme favorite and an extreme dog salary, have both made optimal lineups 17 times out of 82 uses, guys. That is a 20.73% optimal rate. Not good. You want it to be 25, but I'm just impressed that 7,100 is making it the same amount as 9,100. The win rate here, 9,100, almost 70%. The 7,100's 31%. And when it does win, guys, 9,100 makes optimal just 29.82% of the time. Meanwhile, the dog salary, as you would expect, 3 times higher. Well, okay, 2.5 times higher than that. 68 points, or 68% of the time it wins, it makes optimal, guys. Over 2 out of 3 wins for 7,100. 9,100 scores an average of 115, a huge number per optimal lineup, but it does need that huge number to make the optimal lineup because it is so much more expensive. Meanwhile, 7,100 is only averaging 102 points per win. Much easier to make optimal for 7,100. This fight should probably be a fade, but I love the dog potential here. Let's see what the salary voodoo is for 91 and 71. We've got ourselves a frozen jack. We've got a cursed fight, a hexed fight, guys. Frozen Jack is stuck in the maze. He doesn't know how to get out. Freaking Danny covered up his footsteps like the smartest little 8-year-old that's ever existed. Now Frozen Jack's stuck out there being frozen and dead and whatnot. So, guys, we got to avoid this fight. 19th best salary score for Said Nurmagomedov. That is like at a 30 or 31 salaries. Not good. And the salary score for Jonathan Martinez, 7,100, is 1 spot better. The dog salary, 1 spot better, but still lower than average for the for all salaries. So we are going to fade this fight. We got our Frozen Jack. We know what that means, and we don't like it. Last fight, guys, for Salary Voodoo, UFC Las Vegas, not UFC Vegas 71. Be sure to like, subscribe to the channel. And be sure to stick around for next week's Salary Voodoo too, which hopefully will be out earlier than this one. Fight number 3, the heavyweight banger fight between, I almost said between the Green Reaper. He does not want to be in this fight. I don't know you, Green. I don't know what you look like. You're always commenting on my stuff, which I do love. But I bet you're not as big as Volkov or Romanov, and you probably don't want to fight him either. I know I don't. Green picked in this fight, 8,600 for Romanov, 76 for Volkov here. Heavyweight fight. Heavyweights make the optimal lineup 51.25% of the time. Fight number 13, which this is currently slated to be, 52.78% optimal. And the salary pair of 86 and 76 is a very good pair to target, 58.33% optimal. And we are getting negative 6.5% leverage on this pair, guys. You got to get this pair in your lineup. I've heard a lot of people talking about this fight. I love this fight for DraftKings, and I will be playing a ton of it. In fact, the 8,600 has minus 7% leverage, guys. Get 8,600 in your lineup. 76, maybe not so much. 8,600, 29 optimals out of 84 uses. That is a percentage of 34.5%. An insanely high optimal rate for 8,600, guys. You got to play this one. If it makes optimal, it will be only the second time a salary has 30 optimals in since 2021, since I've been tracking. 8,600 has a win rate of 65.5%. You'd like to see that a bit higher, but that is a nice jump from 8,500. 52% optimal, almost 53% optimal when it does win. That's fantastic, scoring almost 114 per win. Meanwhile, 7,600 has only made optimal 20 times out of 84 uses for a 23.8% optimal rate. 32% win rate, but when it does win, guys, 3 out of 4 wins. It's on the optimal lineup, 74%, scoring 108.42 per optimal. Guys, 8,600 numbers are fantastic, and the ones I like the most for this fight, the percent optimal in wins, both sides well over 50%. You absolutely love to see that when you're targeting fights. I think you know what this one's going to be, guys. The heavyweight banger between Romanov and Volkov is going to be a Bernie, guys. We got that good voodoo again. 2 out of 3. Love to see it. I'm personally on the Romanov side. I love the favorite salary side of things here, especially the salary voodoo for that salary. 6.32 salary score for 8,600. That is the 4th best number overall. Meanwhile, 7,600, not too bad. 8.66, that is exactly average. 15th out of 30 or 31 salaries that I track. So fantastic, guys, both in the top half, give or take. And so that means this is a fight we do love to target. Let's do a quick recap. 8,400 and 7,800, that was a Bernie. You got to target that fight between Henry and Gravely. Then we've got 9,100, 7,100, Frozen, Jack, Cursed Fight, Avoid, Nurmagomedov, and Martinez. I personally like Martinez in that one. And then I'm going to give you another Bernie. Target the fight between 8,600, 7,600, the heavyweight matchup, Romanov and Volkov. Going to be a banger of a card, guys. That's going to do it for Salary Voodoo. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry I'm a day late. Hopefully next week it'll be a bit early. But I did start a new show, a little bit of Photoshop going on. So be sure to check that out on the MMA Engine channel, the Game Theory main event dissection. And in fact, the one person that I didn't get to their fight, I believe it was DG3. He selected the main event for Salary Voodoo. I will be doing some Salary Voodoo on the main event dissection, which is strictly about Jan and Marab. So be sure to check that out. Excuse me, on my personal channel, MonkMMAtics over on YouTube. I will link the video down below, and it'll probably just pop up right by my head right about now. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the MMA Engine channel, and then, as usual, I want all of you to enjoy the fights. So enjoy, and we will see you in the next one.